With Profit First, one of the main principles of it is that you have multiple bank accounts so that you kind of have these buckets and you're assigning the dollar for a certain purpose by putting it in that bucket. So I'm gonna let you know how I do things. Again, this can be changed for you and your needs. Hey guys, Abby Johnson here from Matterhorn Business Development. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to talk to you about how to use Profit First in your personal finances. This is what I do for my household. Here at Matterhorn, we are Profit First professionals. We are certified in this system. You can check out this playlist if you've never heard of Profit First. It's usually used in cash flow management for businesses, but today I'm going to apply the same principles to your personal finances. So with Profit First, adapting to your personal finances, to me, this is something that's very customizable for your financial goals. It's also great to put this in place if you are a business owner, if you own multiple businesses, or you have multiple streams of income, or you're a contractor. This is a great way to manage your money at home. So before we dive into this, I do want to say in Profit First, Mike Michalowicz does have a little excerpt in there about applying this to your personal finances. He does say it a little bit differently than I do, but again, that's where customization comes in for you. There is no right or wrong way. You can totally change this to suit your needs. So I'm gonna let you know how I do things. Again, this can be changed for you and your needs. My husband is a contractor. He's a videographer and photographer. He's behind the camera right now. And so he sometimes will get varying amounts of money throughout the week or week to week. It can be unpredictable. So I, of course, manage our finances. So I had to figure out the best way for us to deal with that income kind of varying. So here are the accounts that I use at our house. With Profit First, one of the main principles of it is that you have multiple bank accounts so that you kind of have these buckets and you're assigning the dollar for a certain purpose by putting it in that bucket. So the first account that you would have would be an income account. This is the same for your business. All of your income goes into this account. All of your direct deposit, all of your checks go into this account, and you let that accumulate throughout the week. Let's say I do every week. I look at my bills and allocate to the other accounts every week. You can do this twice a month, whatever works for you. So, it gets to be Friday, and throughout the week you have X amount of dollars in there that's accumulated from your various streams of income. Again, this is great if you're a business owner and you have multiple businesses that you're getting kind of distributions from. You can just have it all go into this one bank account and accumulate. The next account, I call it the fun account. So in Profit First, this is your profit account. This is your reward as the business owner. But in personal finances, I like to call it the fun account, and it's where I set aside money for fun things that we want to do. My husband and I like to travel. Like I said, he's a photographer, so he likes taking trips to take pictures of beautiful places. We love going to Disney. We really like traveling and having experiences and adventures together. So I like to have something set aside specifically for that. And that way I know, cool, we have this budget to spend on this weekend getaway, or maybe we had a great quarter and we can do a bigger trip or whatever. So again, this can be whatever you want it to be. This is what I like to do for my household, for our goals, but that's what comes off first. So instead of profit first, it's fun first. Okay, that's kind of cheesy, but whatever. So the next account, again, this might not be applicable for you, but we have some debt, and I like having a separate account for debt. I just take a certain percentage of our income that I know will cover our minimum payments towards that debt. But then if we do make more income than usual, if my husband does a big job or something, then we have a little bit of extra money in the debt account that I can go towards paying that debt down faster. Now, with some of my clients who I'm working with on their personal finances, they have different goals. For example, one couple, they're saving up for their first home, so they have a home account instead of a debt account. They're fortunate not to have debt. So this account can be whatever you want it to be. The next account, again, might not be applicable for everyone, but it's a tax account. If you strictly have W-2 income and your taxes are withheld for you, you don't really need this account. But for if you're doing contracting or 1099 work, then you do need to be setting aside for your own taxes. So this is a nice way to just out of sight, out of mind, be setting aside that money throughout the year. Put it in a savings account that has interest on it so you can be making a little bit of money off it, and just you'll feel a lot better at the end of tax season or when tax season comes and you get your tax bill and the money is actually already sitting there in your account. This is an account I highly advise putting at a different bank so that you can't even touch it, because it's so easy to say, oh, I'll just borrow it from the tax account. Don't do that. So put it somewhere you can't reach. There's a lot of online banks that have high yield savings accounts. You can go do that and just make it a little bit harder for you to steal from that account. Now, if you don't need a tax account, again, this could be an investment account. Maybe you're really focusing on your investments and you put it, 5% of your income into that account every week, and that's your investment fund. So again, just another way that this can be customized to your personal financial goals. Okay, the next account I call the monthly account. You can call it whatever you want. But these are our monthly bills. So, we kind of have these chunky payments coming out throughout the month. We have rent, cell phone bills, insurance, car payments, things like that. And before I put in this system, I would look at our one bank account and think, okay, so it says we have this much, but we have our big rent check still out. So that means we really have this much money. And it was just too much brain power to financially plan all the time and see what we could actually afford. So I really like having this separate account, and I pay all of our monthly bills out of it. Some of them are auto debit, and I was able to figure out how much money I need to be putting in there every week to cover our bills. So that takes a little bit of mathing, maybe a spreadsheet like I did, but just add up all of your bills for the month and figure out how much you need to be setting aside into that account. And then again, you don't have to think about it. Almost everything's on auto debit, and I know that if I put that amount of money in every week, it's going to be no problem. The last account is a daily account, what I call a daily account. So these are day-to-day expenses, groceries, going out to eat, filling up with gas, things like that. And what's great is, or maybe not great, is basically after you've distributed to everything else, whatever is left goes into this daily account. So for us, if we're having a better income week, then we know we can maybe go out to eat a little bit more due to what's in our account. If we had not so good income week, then maybe we're eating at home more, or we aren't taking an extra outing that week, or watching our consumption of something else. So I think it helps really rein in spending a little bit and know what you actually can afford. And like I mentioned with the last account, it's just less brain power. I'm assuming that my husband likes that too, because he can just look, and instead of asking me if he can buy something, he's able to just go spend that money because he sees that it's there. So that's how I run my personal finances. Again, you can change this to whatever you need it to be, but I have found it to bring so much clarity and sanity to my finances, and it actually takes me less time, less brain power to look at my money, less stress. Overall, just all good things. So if you have questions for me, leave them down below. If you want to know what working with me and our team here at Matterhorn looks like, click the link below that says work with us, and it lays out our process step by step. And I'll see you next time.